Well, hello. Yes, it's me, SaveWithCrypto. Just saying hello to Nick. Nick is in here. Anyone else lurking in the background, please do say hello in the chat. And can you do us a favor and just give the live stream a nice big like? I'm just going to check the audio. I think that's okay. Hang on. Yes, it is. Right. Okay, good. Okay, right. Now, today I was going to do this with Maff. Maff, unfortunately, has to do a meeting in his lunch hour, which is massively unfair. However, he did have the absolute courtesy of doing a lovely video for us with an update this morning that I'm going to play to you in a bit, probably in a few minutes, actually. Maybe just wait for a few more people to turn up. So I was going to say hi to Aki as well and Firewatch. Hello, mate. Oh, and Math's there as well. Math, feel free to join in if you can. I know you probably can't, but if you can. Oh, good afternoon. Yeah, it is good afternoon. And it's afternoon by 4 minutes here in the UK. Okay, so what we were looking at yesterday, in fact, this is the screen that I use for my thumbnail. The screen, no, the chart that I use for my thumbnail, and I put this big green arrow there. I did that because, even without any indicators or anything like that, you can see, this is actually a classic double bottom. Actually, I don't think we've quite broken the neckline yet. Actually, what I could do, I could put on the TradingView indicator. What's it called now? You get it. I think you go to no, not there. Maybe it's in my favorites. No, it's not. There is actually a double bottom, like an automatic one there. Technicals, that's where it is. Double bottom chart pattern. Let's just see if it draws it on here. No. Okay, that's a shame. I thought that would draw it in there. So where has it drawn it? Bottom to, I don't know. Anyway, but to me, the idea of like the price comes down there monstrously, does a big double bottom and then breaks out. But I think it needs to go above the neckline. I'm not quite sure where that is, if that's like there or there. So it's either at 113.8 or 115 point whatever. Either way, we're not there yet. So that's probably why it's not a double bottom, but to me it's a double bottom forming. Now, yesterday we were looking at that with our Quadzilla indicator, which, by the way, you can get to by going to savewithcrypto.org/QZ. I think in a video yesterday I kind of mistakenly said savewithcrypto.org/Quadzilla. That actually doesn't get you to the right page, but yeah, we'll I'll have to I don't know if anyone follows that kind of thing, but anyway, the links are always in the description down below. Okay. I've got KB saying afternoon. Hello, KB. Yeah. So this is what we were looking at yesterday, and we did have this green background here at bang on midday on the 1 hour time frame, and we have gone up rather nicely since then. In fact, if you'd have gone long there, what would that be? That would be sort of there, going up to 1.38%. Not bad, not bad. I did actually go long there, and then I've messed up my entry a little bit, as I normally do, by taking a bit of profit, putting it back in, and then my entry isn't quite so good now. So I'm only just over break even at the moment. I do seem to be getting a little bit of a push up right now, actually. Just looking at it on the 1 minute time frame, and you can see here what Quadzilla does. It puts in these like retracement levels here. So what will probably happen when we get to that red one there, it'll probably like overshoot slightly, then come down. And it'll probably go down to this green one here, and it'll probably undershoot that and then go back up. We'll see what happens, but anyway. So let's see if I can play Math's video for you, because I think this is probably quite relevant right now. Let me just have a look. So if I go video file, and I think this is it.
Yeah, to add to what I was talking about yesterday, here on the 9 hour, if we look at the higher time frames first, this area here, there isn't really a clear uptrend on this. So obviously the price reacted down, and we're not really seeing a series of higher lows or anything like that. It's just kind of mushed its way around, really. Obviously reacted back up, but then it's kind of like ranging a bit there. If I switch on the VRVP here, we can kind of see that that's very much where the bulk of the activity is at the moment in terms of order volume. This area here lines up with this bullish order block there. So if the price dipped down into that area, 109, 108-ish, yeah, 109-ish. So if the price dips down into there, you'd expect it to fill up those long orders and bounce back up. That's fairly good. That forms a fairly solid base if we should head down to that area. Meanwhile, we've got this bit here is kind of showing up as a bearish order block, and that's, yeah, 114.8, 115, 116 maybe area there. So if the price, well, we'd expect the price to head up to that area and then bounce off that and react for a bit before heading back up. We've also got this bullish retracement level still in its step 3. That's still very much in play. Just to confirm that, 116.8. What this suggests to us is that there is a bit of a price magnet bringing us back up to this area, and we would expect to just blast on through that. Essentially, it's kind of how these tend to work. It's had obviously the up and the very significant down. In terms of the coming back up, is bouncing around, but yeah, then it would just hopefully shoot through that, and back up to this fair value gap here, which kind of very much ties in with the sort of lack of order volume really around here. So there'd be just some natural coming up and filling of any leftover orders there. Those are all sell orders that have been left waiting around. Again, there'd be resistance trying to find its way through there before it heads up. So not entirely conclusive. It's just expect the price to bounce around a lot, but hit resistance as it finds its way back up to the highs again. I would think that towards the end of this month, we'll start to see the front running of the interest rate reduction announcements, which will be kind of at the end of October. Could well see some positive price action there. Where are we now? 15th? Yeah, kind of from now pretty much. We'll start to see the price just heading back up in anticipation, just pricing in the news before it's happened really. And I do also think that once that interest rate reduction comes in, of course we might see a bit of a sell-off, but I think it'll be very quick. By that stage, people will be wide-eyed and frothy-mouthed. Again, they'll have the fever. You'd expect to see some pretty good positive price action at that stage into November. I think that's probably also what most people think, which will always be a bit cautious of that. Because like at the start of October, it's very noticeable. There was this mania around it being Uptober, and the price is going to skyrocket, and bull market is on, blah blah blah, all through X and so on. It was worrying to see. I remember doing my own kind of unheard tweets about that. Hey guys, this is a bit worrying. Can you all just maybe calm down a bit? But yeah, and then of course we kind of got that crash. But things are starting to recover anyhow. So yeah, going to the 4 hour, not much going on there that we haven't already seen on the 9. Things is going bouncy, then things is going up, I'd say. If you jump to the 1 hour, on this, we had this retracement level that played out very, very nicely. It did the up and the down, and then kind of heading back up, just in a very kind of flat, but up kind of way. So that's quite nice to see. Aside from that, maybe I'll just do something radical and just drop to the 1 minute. And if I switch off the order blocks, etc., just for a second, maybe the BRVP as well. So, blimey. That's very, very nice. So it's worth pointing out, actually, just while we're here, slight digression, but with the retracement levels, of course, the way that it makes sense to trade them is that, so we've got the step 1, step 2, step 3. For the step 1, at some point you're going to want to short, when it's a bullish retracement level, you'll want to short this. It's just finding a good place to short it. So for this, you'd very much look at what's happening down here in the momentum oscillator. The trend shield here all along has been kind of saying, watch out, watch out, watch out, still upward price action. Here it starts to fade out. In this case it was maybe a little bit late, but we did get the red backgrounds. This first one is slightly darker, less intense. The second one is more intense. That means that the bearish signal is strengthening. When it's darker it's less convinced, when it's brighter it's more convinced. And so you can kind of gauge that a bit, along with hopefully the trend shield starting to fade out and then disappearing. In this case, yeah, so it faded, then disappeared, and there was still, of course, a lot of downward price action after that. So anyway, that's step 1, and 2, as it sort of then kind of makes its way back down. So from that, you'd be able to work out, and also the way that that's curving round, In fact, yeah, just go back to this again for a second, because you do see a lot. There are quite a few signs here that the price had topped and it's starting to come round. To get the convergence band that's converged down to the size of, I don't know, I was going to say probably something rude, but not entirely appropriate. But yeah, down to the size of a pixel, that's safe. And then kind of curves round, which is the important bit, really, that it's come back round while it's up in this kind of overbought area. Yeah, signs that the price has topped and then it's coming back down. So at that point, you may want to place a short if you want to work its way back down to this level. You would often see the price come back down even lower, which is kind of what you want a lot of the time. This sort of thing is really uncanny when the price just touches that retracement level. Is awesome. But I think when you're actually trading it, it's also good. You often want the price to come a bit lower so that if you're in a short, that can play out a bit longer, just nab a few more pennies from the trade, and then also have a bit of time to prepare for the long. So you just kind of use this line as a confirmation. So when the prices come back above, and also, of course, checking down here for whether this is looking like it's bottomed out, which here it clearly has. The trend shield has faded out, virtually disappeared. The convergence band has narrowed down, meaning that the different the 4 different momentum oscillators are very much in agreement, and it's all kind of curved round. Oh my god, the leaf blower is back. How does he know? How does he know I'm recording these? I think he detected it, and then he's rushed round outside with his leaf blower. Anyway, so I'm going to become a bit like Victor Meldrew, I think, just shouting out of the window. Yeah, the faster moving EMA has obviously reacted faster, and it's working its way back up. So at that point, yeah, you've put in your long, and that's now working its way back up, which is nice. Keeping in mind this is on the 1 minute. And then in terms of a target for this, well, we've got this bearish retracement level, which is very conveniently opened up there. Obviously, all the way back here it did that. So you could kind of expect the price to work its way back up to there. There'll be other factors involved in how quickly it gets there. It might trundle along sideways for a bit and then come back up. So all these things to put into how you want to manage the trade, and of course down to your individual trading style. But you could very much have that as a long position. You'd also look on different time frames, of course. I'm kind of zoning in on this a little bit on the 1 minute. Yeah, as I say, there's slight digression, and I've probably talked aplenty, so I'll probably end it there. Cheers.
Okay, so that was maff from this morning from the Discord. If you do want to join the Discord, if you're not in there already, I can show you the that's where you need to go, savewithcrypto.org/discord, and I can also just pop the QR code. That is that one there. That QR code in the corner is the one for the Discord. Okay, let's make this stream about shilling the Discord. So we'd love to see you over there. If you just join through one of those links, the QR code or the link, you become a free member. And with that, you can see what's going on. You can't interact that much. So what you need to do is just follow a few steps. If you look at the Start Here section of the Discord, you'll see what you need to do to get your full access. And once you're in there, you've got the trading floor, which is an amazing place where we can share ideas and stuff. And you've got excellent TA like this, what Maff posted this morning. So that's really good. Right. Okay. So what Maff was looking at there, he was looking at the 1 minute time frame on Bitcoin. I think he was on this chart here. So what he was talking about is about coming down to here. Now, what happened here was it did bounce from this retracement level here, as it's supposed to do. I mean, with amazing accuracy, and up it went. Now, at that point there, it did come back down. Okay. So you can see here that this convergence band here was getting up there. To be honest, that wouldn't have been, you know, the biggest down signal ever. But, you know, usually when you start to see these things go up there, they come down again. And that's the whole point of it being an oscillator. It sort of goes between sort of 0 and 0, -1 and 1, or whatever it is. But anyway, there and there. And when it gets to the extreme parts, that's when you start to see, a change in direction. So at the moment we're coming down, okay, and we're coming down, and that's interesting because we're coming down to this retracement level here. We seem to have gone through it fairly spectacularly. So at this point in time, you see, we'd be expecting it to sort of maybe turn back up, but at the moment we haven't fully got the sort of like narrowness that I like in the momentum oscillator. Let me show you. So here's a good example of where it's like, definitely going to turn around because it got really, really thin. The whole thing is about 1 pixel wide at one point, and then it went back up. And just while I'm here, I just want to point out these trend shields as well, because what these trend shields are, and we will keep repeating this because it is probably one of the more difficult aspects of Quadzilla to understand. Basically, what that means is at that point, everything's looking like the trend should reverse. So you would expect the trend to go back up. But at that point in time, the price is still going down. So it means just hang on a minute. And you can see here, for example, when the trend shield stopped appearing, the price went back up. Okay. So if we see something like that soon, then that's worth paying attention to. But it does look like we might be turning back up anyway soon. So that's Bitcoin. I did notice, actually, if you look at the 3-minute time frame, you can see we do have this retracement level here down at 111,712. That didn't quite come into play just yet, but it really could do. Now that was from a long time ago. Well, I say a long time ago, it's from yesterday, but obviously on the 3-minute time frame, it comes around pretty quick. But it probably will dip into there at some point, maybe at New York Open, who knows. Anyway, so that's that. Let me just check for the comments. Crypto J saying hi, Save. Hello, Crypto J. Crypto J is quite cool. Crypto J did help me a little bit when we were putting Quadzilla together back in, early this year, actually. So that was great. So Firewatch is saying BTC price action getting lively at the moment. Yeah, it is. It is indeed. Let's just go back to the 1 minute, see what we can see. Yeah. You see, I would expect to get back up to this green retracement level pretty soon. It normally does. If you look back in the past, obviously it did it there. Let's try and find an example. I mean, it normally does things like this, and then bounces up. Okay, sometimes it'll do things like that, where it bounces up a little bit and then comes down again. So let's see what it does. Okay. Let me just... yeah, Crypto J saying I did. Yes, indeed, he did. He was a contributor to the Quadzilla thing. Okay, so look, that's beautiful, isn't it? Come on, go up a little bit more. Let's just have a look at some other things, because I've been looking at a few different things. There's been looking at some traditional stocks as well, and I bought some stuff called Aero. Where is it? It's in my regular watch list. There it is. Aero. Okay, this is a traditional stock. Okay. Let's get rid of that double bottom thing. Actually, that was cool. Yeah, that was quite good. Look, this is a classic double bottom. That's the 1 minute time frame. That's fairly irrelevant, isn't it? Let's put it on the 1 hour. There you go. There's a good double bottom. And that's automatically drawn by, let's just take off Quadzilla for the moment. That's automatically drawn by TradingView. It's quite good, isn't it? I'm not sure if you get these in the free version of TradingView, but if not, yeah, just get a paid version of TradingView. It's well worth it, I think. Anyway, that's quite nice. Anyway, I digress. If we do get that target there of $23, I'm going to be really happy actually, because my entry's down here somewhere. And anyway, let's just take that off for a moment. This is a really good example, because I was looking at this and I was thinking, like, it's just been going down and down. I was thinking, oh, is it going to go up again? So I was looking at it on Quadzilla on the 1 hour time frame, and it was looking like, this was like earlier this week and Monday or so, and it was drawing this this bearish retracement line here, and I thought, well, okay, that's actually not too bad. If it sort of gets up to there, I'll still be happy. And by the time we got there, actually, what was happening was these the yellow and green EMAs. The yellow is a 21 EMA and the green is a 55 EMA. These had actually started to sort of curl back upwards. Now, I always talk about these, and I do like to add these extra ones, by the way, and you can do that in Quadzilla just by going to the style tab, and I enable that one there and the 9 as well. By default, it's just the 55 and 21, I think, although I think it might have the 9 enabled by default now. I'm not sure. But anyway, I like to add the 5 as well. To be honest, the 5 is so short, it kind of almost follows what the price is anyway. So it's almost like the same as having the line chart, really. But I do like it. The whole idea of an EMA, that's an exponential moving average, means that it actually gives a bit more weight to the more recent action. Okay, and these particular values here, 5, 9, 21, and 55, I originally chose these because that's a technique that Eric Crown uses. He uses quite a lot of his automated stuff is based upon things like the 21 and 55 EMA cross, and even the 9 and 21. And we have taken some aspects of that and built them into Quadzilla. And that is what you can see when you see things like this. So you can see the yellow and green are converging there, and you get this like bit of shading there. Now that happens when you get a certain rate of convergence, and that normally means that it's quite likely that they will cross. Now, if they cross, I'll be really happy, because that means my stock should be worth quite a bit. And it's actually going, it's got a pre-market price of 20.45, which makes me extremely happy. That's great. Just while I'm on regular stocks, by the way, I just saw the Max saying, look at Co-AI. I will have a look in a moment, actually. Because that's been a mad one, isn't it? Just while I'm here, I just want a quick look at Tesla as well, because I did buy a load of Tesla on Friday just before that big crash, and of course, like, Tesla was kind of pretty much immune to it all, wasn't it? Because it all happened after the market had shut. So I just want to see if there's anything interesting happening here. Not especially, not on the 1 hour, 4 hour, not particularly. Okay, let's okay, there is this this daily level down here looming, a bearish retracement level at 396, but yeah, so the price could come back down there, so I'll have to think about what to do with my stock with that. Okay, so let's have a look at Co-AI for the Max. Co-AI. Let's look at the don't know what chart to use. Probably Binance has probably got the most history, because it's really new, isn't it? It's only since September. Okay, so you see with Quadzilla, it's not going to show hardly anything, well, almost nothing on the daily time frame, because we just haven't got the history there because it's so new. Okay, so that doesn't really mean a lot, does it? If we go down to the, let's go down to the hourly time frame. Okay, this gets more interesting here. Well, it's on its way up, isn't it? Okay, now the point is here, it is getting into that kind of like overbought territory here. So that means that this what we call convergence band is now completely over the 80% mark. So at this point, you would be thinking like, right, it's got to come down sooner or later. There again, it's a new token and it's a bit mad. Generally, what I would do with Quadzilla is I would think, okay, if I'm seeing quite a lot of these red things and it only really represents a very sort of small pullback, so let's look at, something like the 4 hour. And you think, okay, I should probably, I don't know, really. It's hard to say. Okay. I will admit, with a new token like this, with only a few weeks history, Quadzilla's not really given us very much. It's just going nuts, isn't it? So if you're in this, brilliant. If you're not, be careful, because will it run out of steam soon? Well, look, if you go down to the 1 minute time frame, yeah, I mean, it did come back and retrace that level there, didn't it? Probably didn't quite touch it, did it? No, it didn't quite touch it. It got damn near though. This one here, not. I don't think it even did it earlier on. No, it didn't. So okay, so that's a possibility. I don't know. I would say at the moment, if you're not in a trade with this already, then look at these levels down here: 15.9 and 14.77. That kind of thing. Yeah. Okay, let me just have a look. So Kaz is here. Hello, Kaz. Isn't lots of it held, but by only like 10 wallets or something? So maybe a possible rug pull thing. Highly bloody possible, actually. Yeah. I don't know anything about it, to be honest, but if you were expecting a rug pull, God, imagine what a trade you could make short in it would be. I assume you can do this on perpetual. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. If so, you could be looking. I mean, they'll probably let it run a lot higher, won't they? But from here, yeah, that bullish retracement thing is down there at like 98% down. Yeah, that would be an interesting short. I don't know. The problem is you don't know when it's going to happen, do you? It will happen at some point. It will just reverse. So I don't know. Don't know what to say really. I was told about this actually by a guy in our Discord last week, and I must admit I didn't really pay much attention to it, because with kind of new things, I always think, well, I'll wait until all the excitement's over and then see what it does. But yeah, I think he told me about it. Oh God, it was about a week ago. Christ, it was about then. Jesus. So if I'd have done that, that would have been 2000% up. Right. Well, there's a fairly good reason to be in the Discord. So yeah. So the Max saying, and I didn't tell you. No, I didn't tell you, but it was in the Discord. It was in the Discord. So join the Discord. That is evil. I know. I didn't do anything about it myself. To be honest, if it was a trade I'd taken myself, then I would have told you about it. I'll tell you something that is of interest to me at the moment, and this is going to surprise a lot of people. In fact, can I even show you? I'm not sure. I mean, I've been talking about this for bloody years, really. But this thing called ZoidPay, okay, I've been talking about this for ages, and I must admit I did buy some, well, quite a lot actually, at around 13 cents, and it's actually worth like 0.3 of a cent at the moment. However, what's going to happen with ZoidPay, and it's only really available on Qcoin, or if you do the Multiverse X stuff, you can swap stuff for it there. What's going to happen with this? It is going to turn into another token, and it's going to be another token that has new tokenomics and stuff. And today we actually got shown, the people who are in the inner circle, if you like, yeah, inner circle. It's basically what used to be what was called the shopping pool owners, that actually never turned into very much. But what did happen, I have to be really careful about what I say here, because I'm not supposed to say certain things. But anyway, so what kind of happened, it all depends on this kind of app that they've been trying to bring out. The app we've been waiting for about 3 years, to be honest. I think it's nearly there, but they're going to have been saying that for 3 years. But they came out with some new tokenomics for what this is going to become. So I actually think, not financial advice, I actually think, even though I've got a load of this that I paid a ridiculous price for, I might actually buy some more at this kind of price here, or maybe even lower if it goes lower, because I think one day it'll be all right. But that seriously is not financial advice. But I read the paper today about the tokenomics of it, and it does look pretty interesting. It does, however, depend on the actual app coming out, and if they can't manage to do that, that's just not going to happen then. But they are confident it's going to happen, so we'll see anyway. So that's my little thing there. So the Max talking about Co-AI. Let me have a look again. What did I look at before? I looked at the Binance chart, didn't I? Let's look at the Bybit chart. So you reckon it's heading for $30? Blimey. I just can't bring myself to, buy anything at that price. When I've seen something go up like that, I can't do it. But there again, I'll tell you what I would do. If I saw a pullback like that, if I saw, for example, on the 1 hour time frame, if I saw what happened here, let me just make it bigger, and I actually saw like the momentum oscillator go down there to below 20% and even get that little bit of space there, that's normally a very, very good sign that the price is going to go back up. Did that happen before? No, it's not happened so far, is it? That only happened once. Okay. That would have been, if I'd have been paying attention, that would have been the time I would have bought it or traded it. And what happened there? It came up to this bearish retracement line here, and it did what it was supposed to do. Look, it did. It basically hit that, and then it came down a little bit, and then it went back up again. There is this one here. There is this retracement level here at $7.90. So maybe that's something that it might crash down to. How did this do last Friday? That was the 10th, wasn't it? This wasn't affected, was it? Wow. Well, it came down a little bit. That's probably bigger than what we think it is, isn't it? How much is that? Oh, okay. That was about 9%. So that's quite a big pullback, isn't it? But yeah, it's a new coin, so it's just moving like mad, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe it's worth buying a little bit in spot, but I don't know. I can't suggest that because I've always had a thing that, I don't chase green candles, even though my green candles are white here. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, let me just have a look. Oh, so I thought that was math in the studio, but it's not. I just have a look at these. So the Max is saying, is crypto phase trade it on another exchange? Oh, is it? Oh, I saw crypto phase trade it on another exchange. Check what trade? What trade? Co-AI or ZoePay? Oh, the Co-AI. Okay. Right. All right. So let's just go back to Bitcoin for a moment, anyway, because I do think it's having a little bit of a dump, didn't it? What's that big red arrow there? I always draw these things for like thumbnails and stuff. That's when I was talking about that bearish retracement line there. Yeah, we haven't actually got there yet. Anyway, let's just remove that for a moment. This is the Bybit chart. This is where I've drawn on these lines here. So the white ones are the weekly pivots and the purple ones are the monthly ones. What are we doing at the moment? Let's go on to the 1 minute. Okay. Well, I think it's just getting a bit of a pre-New York froth, isn't it? And it is funny. These retracement lines, they are a certain length, and the idea is if they go on for so long, then they just might never get retraced to. I mean, generally they do, and you can see how often they do by putting on the statistics, which are in the inputs. So you can count the number of completed retracements. Okay. You can slightly change how they're calculated. So you can show retracements step 3. There's 3 steps, right? So you can show retracement step 3 is closed as a percentage of step 1 or step 2. So I suppose, let's just leave it on step 1 at the moment and just have a look how reliable this is. So you can see here, this is actually the 1 minute time frame. So since the 29th of September, there's been 356 bullish step 1s, and 94.1% of those have achieved the step 2. So this here probably will get met at some point. Now you can actually make these lines longer if you want to, and sometimes it does help actually, and you can do that just by coming here and first of all, let's just turn off the stats for a moment just to give us a bit more room, a bit more space. And this is where you need math in the corner, isn't it? But let's have a look. Right. Okay. So this is the bit here. So draw bearish and bullish levels, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Right. Stop drawing step 2 after so many bars. And you can change that. I mean, I think by default, I normally put that on about 950. And I also like to increase this one as well to 600. Doesn't really change much. It just changes, the idea of how you look at things. It just makes like that a bit longer there. So I would think probably at this point, that wick we just had probably more or less finish that one off. So we might not come down there. But anyway, this is just the 1 minute time frame, so it's quite erratic, but it's still astonishingly accurate and everything. Let's just see what we can see on bigger time frames. 3 minute. 3 minute looks like we're all down the bottom here, ready to go back up. So we should probably bounce from here, I would say. 12 minutes, one of my time frames. I just heard a little plop sound. Was that maff there? There's maff. I'm going to add him to the stage. Hello, maff. Are you there?
Yeah. Can you hear me
Oh,
okay?
hello. How you doing?
Hi. Good, thanks. Yeah. So yeah, I actually joined a few minutes ago, but I was having microphone issues. So I was going,
All right.
hi, I've joined. Grand entrance, and then nobody heard me. So I had to rejoin.
All right.
I think
Yeah,
it was.
I'm
Yeah, I was going to say it's just round about the point where you're saying you could really do a math in the corner, just kind of shouting stuff out. But
there you were.
so I did. That would have been perfect timing. But
It would have been great. And oh, there you are.
yeah, exactly. But no, it's foiled by Linux again.
Oh, okay. I did play your video earlier on, which was very good. So thank you for that. It was almost like you were here. It was great. Anyway,
better editing, I think. Yeah.
Anyway, I was just badly babbling on about the length of these retracement levels. Actually, I was kind of saying. You probably know what I was saying. I was saying I like them to be a bit longer than they are by default.
I think it's one of those things, like they could be sort of set to be like just infinite length, like a ray or something.
Okay.
But obviously they need to keep plotting and then kind of reacting when the price is retraced to that level and so on. But it's just a resource limitation thing in TradingView, really. So we have to sort of limit the number of those can be on the time series. It can be plotted at any time. So it's kind of because of that. But also that said, I mean, obviously you can just set them to a bigger value, so they plot for longer, and they generally do kind of still reach some meaningful point. They do tend to be filled at some point, just like sometime later. But it's also useful sometimes to actually set them shorter, just when you're looking at the stats, I found. So like if you wanted to find a chart where you don't want to trade that's going to have to play out for days or years or something like that, so you can set it to find a chart where these mostly retrace within 30 minutes on the 1 minute chart, for example, something like that, and try and find the highest percentage of those. So if that makes sense.
It is.
So like you go into the settings and set that number to like 30, maybe, which would be very, very low. So it would reduce the stats radically. But then you could just go through and do like comparisons across different charts and find ones that have quite high levels, I suppose, relatively.
Okay. So we got Kaz here saying I've increased the length of mine loads. Is there a maximum would recommend? Obviously depends on time frame, perhaps how many valid. I don't think the time frame actually makes much difference, does it?
Not hugely. It's usually just depending how much price data is available on that particular chart. So if it's some coin that's maybe only been around for a year, maybe, or something like that, that it's going to depend. But yeah, the main limitation, as I say, is just that if each retracement level hangs around for a long time, it ends up preventing newer ones from being drawn. So that there is just like trying to find a happy medium. So probably what it's set to as a default probably is about the right number, I think. But you do find, like, if you can experiment with it, really. So like on there, where you've got lots of them drawn all at once, you could set the number to a much higher number, and you might see some of those disappear at some point.
Right.
So just like finding a good number in that sense. Similarly with the stats, because obviously that shows how many of the retracement levels being drawn. it might be worth just bringing that up actually, if you want to put the stats on.
Yeah, sure. Unless you want to share your screen, and
I suppose I could do.
do you want to do that? And then
Yeah, sure. Not like
probably
barking instructions at you.
that's all right. I don't mind. Right, I'll remove myself.
Sure. Make sure I share the right screen. Don't share all of my at work stuff.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this one. Yeah. So on here. Oh god, I've got into the habit of sniffing while I'm on stream. Mustn't do that. So anyway.
Sorry. As long as you're not indulging in Colombian marching powder, I suppose it's all right.
Colombian marching. No. So, yeah. Actually, on this, excuse me. I think this may have been what you were. Excuse me. Sorry. On the sniff. This may have been what you were talking about just now about the whether step 3 comes from step 1 or step 2. So there's a little handy thing that has the dot there to match the dot. So if I change this setting here, so show retracement step 3 is closed as a percentage of step 1 or step 2. If I change that to step 2, the dot moves to that one. You can see step 2 dot to step 3. Yeah, so currently that's showing that so say for the bear 390 and 356 for the two step 1s actually get drawn for the kind of duration of all of this going back that many bars. But if I set that to, like, say, if it allows 1,000, it should do that 390, 356, you should find, yeah, I think 999 is actually the limit. So put that that decreased. So if I just maybe change 500, it should increase.
Okay.
Or not. That was really anticlimactic. Sorry, go to 50. There you go. Did that in? Yeah, it increased, didn't it? Didn't make all that much difference actually. So, maybe because I need to also change that. If I temporarily switch that one off, that's interesting. Stats. Oh no, that's okay. I think that's a bit broken. Let's just look at that. Okay, put that back on. So that's something that'll be in 1.6 fixed stats.
Is this the actual the production one, or is this?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's. I just noticed that if you switch off the step 3, the stats go a bit not very good. But just everyone's going to keep that switched on anyway, because I'm not really sure why anyone would switch off the step 3 now. So I might even take out the checkbox.
Okay, that would make sense actually. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, to be honest, that was more of a caution thing when introducing the step 3. It's like have it out so people can still kind of use it like the previous version.
Okay.
So yeah, so that one. I forgot what I was doing now. What was I doing? Yeah. Okay. So I think. So I guess you kind of get the idea anyway. That
okay.
if this is down to like 50 bars, then the number increases. But yeah, that was it. Yeah, I was going to show but these percentages actually decrease because we've effectively only given it 50 bars to succeed.
Right.
And obviously a lot of them play out over more than 50 bars. So like if I reduce that to something silly like 10, that'll just drop right. Actually, still not bad, to be honest. So the number of retracements here, this is on the 1 minute, that play out within 10 minutes, is actually still over 51%, still over 50%, and just under for bullish.
Okay, so what Kaz is saying here is, he said, so She said, so maybe silly question, but does the alteration manually of this length alter the stats in the table, as they aren't set at a specific length for those?
So manually setting the this length, yeah,
I assume so, yeah.
does alter stats in the table. Yeah, so the stats that it's showing, of course, are just like live stats that it builds up while it's plotting through the time series. So yeah, I didn't realize it set the length too long. Maybe stuff that's been drawn. Need to work this out then better. Yeah, I think if you basically use the stats like this, it's a very good thing that this is a good thing that it's good for. So you can kind of find an optimal number really for this and this. But yeah, that was it. I was going to decrease this number as well, because obviously you'd kind of want to do this in proportion. So you got like the step 2 number, and that but then it doesn't make sense to keep that high. So for step 3, that'll obviously drop down now as well. Not too bad though, actually. So you could have, yeah, essentially. So here, Bitcoin on the 1 minute chart. If you want to find trades that are within that play out within 10 bars for the up and the down, then you'll find that there's at least half of them do that. If you want them to play out the step 3 bit within another 10 bars, then a pretty high percentage of those do as well. So where that then becomes useful, for example, we could go to the sort of fairly recently populated biggest stickers is one of the things is watch list. Then just quick recap on that. This is going to be just digression city, I think, at the moment. But so that was populated from the Keck screener thing in TradingView. So in this case, just looking on Blofin, because that's what I'm interested in trading on, symbol type perpetuals, and then so ordering that by the asset pairs, the trading pairs with the biggest change. So that's so sort of descending. So you get obviously the highest ones at the top. So in this case, actually, let me just refresh it. And I should have clicked that. So, let's set it up all over again. Blofin and symbol type perpetuals, and then order this descending. So, funnily enough, I think you were looking at this when the I really want to say coal, but this COAI.
Yeah, it's gone nuts.
Yeah, 122% change in the last 24 hours.
I must admit, by the way, I think it was Lee in our Discord did mention this about a week ago, and I didn't pay much attention, and I really wish I had done, because it's gone up like 2,000%.
Jeepers. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lee. I'll pay more attention next time.
Yeah. So it's kind of like we've got a unicorn in the Discord. It sort of makes these 2,000% altcoin calls.
Yeah.
And they actually seem to play out as well.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, do join the Discord.
Yeah.
Which is
for more 2,000% altcoin calls.
Yeah. Which is the QR code in the corner, and also savewithcrypto.org/Discord. Okay.
Oh, I suddenly realized why there's a duck in the QR code for StreamYard.
Oh, go on then.
Well, because it's a farmyard.
Okay, with the stream in it.
Well, I was thinking like it's like a farmyard, yeah, but it's a stream yard. So what would I don't know? What would the duck be? The duck would be streaming, whatever that means.
Well, I suppose a duck does live in a stream.
Ah,
I suppose.
yeah. Oh, maybe it's more just that. Yeah, so farmyard with a stream running through it.
Yeah.
With some happy ducks. Anyway, so probably right about this being just one digression after another. So yeah, so it's just kind of showing that really that you can just find some very, very volatile pairs to trade on by looking at this. And then if we go back to actually see here, then this top one, then top-ish one, that's still fairly near the top of what we're looking at. Then yeah, so if you remember, I set the length of these now to just 10 bars. So there's a whole number of these that are just like, oh, I'll give up, oh, I'll give up, oh, I'll give up, and so on. That one played out. So on this one, so this one, so that's a bullish retracement, of course, but that actually did the initial up down very, very quickly, then down, 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 and so then from there, where the line gets narrower, goes to 1 pixel, that has played out within the 10 bars. It's been whoop up, which is kind of nice. So that one, of course, clearly would have played out very quickly anyway, but like, you know, given half a chance. So yeah, if you're looking for some just relatively quick trades, then you can kind of use the stats as a way to find those. Just keep in mind that the lower percent isn't a reflection of the actual success rate of the retracement levels. It's just kind of reducing it to an extreme level, really, to find just good charts to trade on, really.
Yeah.
So like just like even on this, like if I increase that retracements, EMA, yeah, but maybe put each of those back to say 20, then of course that plays out. No, it completes, and we see radically higher success rates for those as well. So it went from about 50 up to about 70-ish for those. So yeah, okay. Ooh, lots of loot. So had this set up again. This is based on the biggest movers chart here. Sorry, the biggest movers watch list. So what happened here? So that was the hyper alert that went off. So that was essentially saying that something happened, but I think oh it's this. Okay, so a retracement has started there, and that hasn't yet kind of drawn the bit that shows whether it's bearish or bullish, but you can kind of figure it out, I think, because because of the way that those are crossing. So and in fact, that's going to kind of come down. Really interesting that would have detected that, because the average on here is kind of like way down, but the faster moving stochastic oscillator is kind of just up there. I mean, you know, can potentially just kind of show. Sorry, I really am all over the place and things I'm showing here. Is if you wanted to focus on one thing in particular, just to do shout.
That's all right. So I quite like the you know, the alert pops up, completely distracts you.
Yeah.
But
so, anyone with ADD, I think that wouldn't really work in their favor.
No. I'm just looking at Bitcoin actually on a different screen. Actually, just getting an idea of what it might do. Actually.
Okay. So should I have a look at that actually?
Yeah, it might be more relevant to the to the general public.
Yeah, let's do that. Actually, I'll pause the alerts as well, because we're getting a bit distracted.
Because it did kind of do that kind of double bottom thing yesterday, which was quite nice. But it does look like it's a bit weak going back up. Actually, I must admit.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm just looking for some other potential retracement levels, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's looking. It's also looking a bit local toppy just there, isn't it? Very much with the kind of the run up of consecutive bullish candles and then a very spiky wick and then the reaction downwards. That's and obviously down here we kind of got the even the mid-range cross coming downwards, kind of confirming that's probably just going to carry on down for a bit. There's, I mean, I should probably go to higher time frames to put those in, but I guess there's kind of that, isn't there, ish? And what it's worth. Put on the BRVP. So yeah, not a lot. I might do that. Still, not a lot going on there. Oh, there we go. Some going on there, but not nearly as much as what's been happening up here. That there got kind of, because this is a faster moving EMAs for that convergence zone, so that kind of got a bit. So that upward move wasn't very convincing anyway, because the 21 were just going sideways and very slightly up rather than steeply up, and this is catching up.
Yes, that is looking a bit floppy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit very flaccid price action there.
Got a few comments here. Sorry to interrupt you. Kaz was saying, was just thinking if we'd have like an optimum number of bars for each main time frame, i.e. if scalping may include 12 minutes greater than 6 minutes. I think the thing to do is play with it and see what works for you, depending on what you look at. I mean, I mostly look at stuff on the 1 hour time frame to get an idea of what's going on. And to be honest, I just leave Quadzilla pretty much as it comes out the box. I do sometimes lengthen them things a little bit, but quite often I do that just to show something in a video, so there's that. So generally I just use the defaults really. And hang on. So she was also saying would stop being relevant to that scalp if work out for I don't know if you got any.
I think that was part 2 of the comment, of the previous comment.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't really give a very useful answer there, did I? Just trying to understand the question. I was thinking if I'd like an optimum number of bars. I will say,
we could probably cover this. We could always cover this in the Discord, maybe.
I think that's what we'll do, actually. Yeah. So
it sounds like a complex one, but it's one I'd quite like to dig into anyway.
It might be the sort of thing that I don't want to scare people off Quadzilla who haven't got it yet.
Because the crux of it really is that Quadzilla actually gives some very kind of easy to follow, I was going to say signals, sort of they're signals to come to. So like the main thing, kind of what I was talking about in that video from earlier, the recording, was just that it gives you a level where you can fully expect the price to retrace to and then still kind of interact with. And then when you're looking for a good entry within the retracement pattern, you kind of look at what's down here, and probably that plus kind of what's going on with the EMAs, with the trends as well.
Yeah.
And then you can usually find where, or have a pretty good idea of where the price is going to reverse. Like here, for example, so this one here was maybe a bit early, and this lot wasn't looking too convincing there, because the average was still just kind of doing this just sideways move, really. But whereas here, leading up to this red background, it did that tight sort of convergence there, and was curving round. So that's much more like it. And then down in the short of down.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that's kind of it, really. That's all you need to do to use Quadzilla effectively. It's just like, look at these levels, and look at where the price is going to reverse, and then the vast majority of the time you're going to get a good trade entry for that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So another Dave here saying, Ethereum 50-minute chart, what's your opinions on conflicting retracement lines? Would you put more likelihood on the first retracement playing out first? My comments about that is I would have a look at what the EMAs are telling you at the moment. So, for example, do you want to just get the? Is that what you're doing there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, brilliant. Okay. So, I mean, what I can see straight away there, well, is the fact that on that 15-minute chart, you've got the yellow and green EMAs, so the 21 and 55 EMAs coming together, looking like they are going to go a little bit bearish. So at the moment, I would say, for now, the price is probably going to come down a little bit. So I wouldn't necessarily say the nearest retracement is the one it's going to go for, because that's not quite how it works, is it? But it means those levels will probably get reached at some point. So that's when, because if you think about it, the EMAs show you the trend, so they show you the likelihood of the direction, if you like. So at the moment, I would say with that yellow coming down towards the green, I would say that we're maybe heading for a bit of downside. Now that is only the 15-minute time frame, so I would probably say in that case, I'm probably looking for the bullish retracement below. Maybe we'll get hit before the bearish one above. Any further comments on that?
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, I was trying to work out what's actually conflicting on these. So, is it because of that one there? Okay.
I think you meant because like there's a red one above and a green one below.
Yeah, this is a classic sort of situation where the price actually is kind of just mid-range, between kind of two different levels. So normally, of course, if you're planning out a trade, you'd be kind of first looking for the price to come to a particular level, and then strike. Kind of have the position open. Maybe look at this one as a potential take profit, potential exit, or the other way around. But it's literally because aside from what you're talking about there isn't an immediate sort of obvious direction for that. Which way is it going to go?
There's not actually. In fact, I just looked at it on the 1 hour time frame, and the 1 hour time frame's looking a little bit more bullish, but at the same time a bit sideways-ish, really. So yeah, there are certain points in time where it's just really hard to say what's going to happen next, and even though we've got the best indicator in the world.
That's funny. I was just going to say which you have as well another day.
It's not quite crystal ball status yet, but it's not far off. Anyway, just some quick comments from Kaz here. Don't know if I'm getting squiffy or getting the wrong end of the stick. No, not particularly. It's just I think you're just exploring the indicator and finding some interesting stuff. So it's all good. We'll talk about it in the Discord. She said, yeah, sorry for being scary. in Discord is cool. Hard to get into such detail here. Well, we can, but at the same time, we might confuse people as well. Sort of. So it might be the sort of thing we can talk about in Discord a lot better.
Yeah.
She also said, for anyone looking at the comments, it isn't scary at all. I'm just delving and possibly overthinking. Okay, thanks for saying that. That's great. Another Dave, great, thanks. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Another Dave saying, yep, paid for itself already. Brilliant. Okay,
Super.
right.
Yeah, really glad.
Quadzilla isn't free, but it is very cheap. So
yeah, should bring up the thing.
Please do. Please do.
Yeah,
please do.
I found it.
Please do. And everyone goes, how much?
Yeah.
And I was thinking what I need to do is I need to get some screenshots together. In fact, I'll do that and load them up into StreamYard so that we can show it in different currencies as well.
That'd be so much slicker to do that.
Yeah, because we've got it in, depending on what country. And I'm not sure what happens if you're in a weird country like Australia. Not that Australia's weird, but like, because at the moment we've got it so it's in dollars, pounds, and euros, which are the only currencies I understand anyway.
It's between the two. So yeah.
So that so that figure would change to dollars if you're in the US, and will change to euros if you're in Europe. And I'm not sure what happens if you're in somewhere like Canada. But
yeah, sure. So yeah, essentially with this, so if you get the yearly plan, it works out basically £60 a month, £60 a month, which honestly is nothing. That's a daily shop at Waitrose.
Daily?
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of whiskey, I suppose, to get through. But you get the stuff that's on offer. That's the trick. Yeah. As far as I was starting to joke about alcoholism there. I probably shouldn't. But yeah, so £60 a month is nothing. Well, £60 is not nothing, but it's a titchy amount. If you get the monthly, it's still very inexpensive, £80 for the month. It gets you obviously Quadzilla itself. It's an invite-only indicator on TradingView. You do get all the Quadzilla updates and enhancements during the membership, and of course you get access direct into the trading community on Discord. You also get allocated a Quadzillion role as a Discord member, in addition to the trader role. So it's probably worth something. It's a badge on your sleeve. So,
I was just thinking actually, so we got another Dave saying that, and what I failed to mention was the fact that he joined about 3 days ago.
That's amazing actually.
Yeah.
Absolutely, congrats, another Dave. So yeah, that's that. Is that the shilling done?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I should swap the QR code to the Quadzilla one. There you go. That's the Quadzilla thingy code. And how are you doing for time, by the way, today?
Don't know really. Probably talk for a bit longer, I would think, and then. Okay.
I did actually wonder if we should do a chippy watch. Are you able to do one?
Yeah.
And also
we've been doing all this price analysis, but we didn't do that jingle. We could do that or save it for tomorrow. Do you think?
Yeah, let's keep it. Let's keep them. Yeah, I didn't want to do it with just me because
because it's saying save and math, isn't it?
Yeah, so it'd be like, oh, where is he? Where is he? So, and then you appeared, and then all of a sudden you were there, So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, we did have a little thing. Well, not a surprise for everybody, but a surprise for a few people. Anyway, so I'm just waffling while I'm trying to find the actual thing. Anyway, right, let's do this because we didn't do it last week, and
Sure.
although it mentions Friday, we historically do this on Wednesday. But here you go.
On Free Chippy Friday, we gather and munch golden fish and chips, the perfect lunch. By the seaside with girls
There you go.
Well,
Because I mean, last Friday it almost achieved what we've been talking about for quite a while, didn't it?
it's yeah, that's quite something. Maybe I'll switch off the VRV for this one. So yeah, but very much, because this was essentially the level where I should switch that back on. We were talking about it before, like retracing to this level and
Yeah.
saying, because obviously when the price is way up here, and it did the amazing thing of touching that retracement level there. In fact, it went up again. That sort of seems to have become a resistance level now, quite a significant one. Sort of two attempts through that and then back down. But yeah, sorry. So we would talk about this level as being, well, there's a chance it's going to retrace to here. Be a bit surprised, but it seems like that's kind of the price where it would want to be. But before all of the buyback stuff started to happen, the price was obviously down here, inched up to there, I think, when there was just some renewed attention in Chippy Coin. But it's very much that without all of that and without all of the buying back happening, it felt like this would be the price that it would want to return to. But we were also kind of asserting at the time, but yeah, that's never going to happen. It's just those days are gone by lower prices.
My thinking about that, right, is what we're actually looking at here is the it's Chippy, which is obviously it's a very low cap coin on the Solana network, and you're looking at it compared to wrapped Solana, right? Now, obviously, on Friday with that big crash, Solana went down to ridiculously low price as well, and it did fluctuate. And I actually think, if that was, I don't know, if that was looking at the actual, say it was like Chippy Solana on, I don't know, something like Bybit or something like, like a big exchange, I actually think you would have seen that hit that level. I'm pretty damn sure of it.
Because there would have been leveraged trading on that as well.
There would have been some sort of spike that would have definitely would have reached that level. So, and that is one of these examples where, like, you sort of think, oh, that will never get back to that price, and it bloody did.
Yeah, which is quite amazing. So it's essentially, I was going to say it's completed that order structure, but it kind of hasn't. But it's still looking a bit like it might drop a bit more. Whether that's overall bullish or not, I don't really know. I mean, I obviously hope it is, because I've still got all of my Chippy coins, and I still want the value to go up. So there was this area we talk about as area of liquidity, but basically kind of a bearish order block, really, I suppose, because the price is kind of dipping back into that and coming back down.
Yeah.
So this retracement level opened up as well. So that's a good sign, except that it's a bearish one. So that still needs to complete its kind of, well, it's done the down. It needs to complete its up, and we might expect it to drop down a bit as well. But then, so hopefully it'll be the usual sort of, and then back up. So I do wonder if both of these will be reached, even if it is just a wick down. But I've got to say, I mean, I desperately want to be bullish about Chippy.
Well, me too, because I've got quite a bit, but for various reasons at the moment, I'm kind of a bit out of the loop with it all. But I'm kind of hoping that there's good news on the horizon. Maybe if anybody knows more, please let me know in the comments or in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be good, actually. So yeah, I tend to keep an eye on the Telegram group, but there's, I don't know, there's an awful lot of so when's Chippy 2 arriving? it soon, big things are happening behind the scenes, which I still kind of hope that's kind of the case.
I think the worry would be if we'd have known that Chippy version 2 was out already, and it had done that.
Yeah,
that would have been oh no, not sure about that. But I think, as far as I know, I think we're still waiting for like the next phase of its evolution. So anyway,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, just because I don't know. It's obviously being set up to be a long-term investment, like, because obviously if this bull cycle is kind of nearing its end now-ish, and so that this is obviously running out of time to have any great impact doing that. It might be released just in time to have this sort of stratospheric rise on there, and I would imagine, tokenomics or not, there'd be a lot of cashing out at that point, just in time for the end of the bull cycle. But I think after that it would crash. Hopefully there'd be a lot more buying back in as well, and that might just occur during the bear market for the next few years. So this could well be a keeper, I think, for the next bull market in 4 years' time, if it still works out that way, which you imagine it probably would.
Well, I believe that the way the tokenomics were going, it was all about kind of the idea of staking, getting quite juicy rewards from staking. So
yeah,
but I think
all of that just kind of goes to hell a bit, doesn't it, during the bear market?
Yeah.
People who sort of cash in, they get kind of like half a cent worth of staking reward for that week. And everyone's miserable. But yeah, I think as long as the fundamentals stay strong for it, and it kind of lasts through until the next bull market.
Yeah, we'll see. Find out what you're saying. Are we streaming later? Probably not, isn't it?
Probably not. Okay. I was kind of thinking about that, because like, do we keep that as like the big Wednesday live stream still? I mean, it probably not today in any case.
I think really, the idea of doing the regular streams is to try and get into YouTube's favorites with the algorithm, to try and teach the algorithm that we're here every day, and then I believe the idea is, if that happens, then YouTube will sort of put you up in the algorithm a little bit and notify more people that you're doing this. So I think the idea with the Wednesdays, it was going to be like a regular Wednesday thing at that time. So I think now we're trying to do it at least every weekday at the same time. Then if we stick to that, that's probably going to achieve what we were achieving with the later Wednesdays, but better. So I think we'll probably just knock the Wednesdays on the head generally. But if we get a chance to talk longer at midday, then we can do that. Or maybe if something juicy is happening, I can always hop on later myself, and if Maff's around, he can join in. But generally, I would say that probably the regular ones will be the midday UK time, Monday to Friday, and then I'll see what I can do at the weekend. I can't promise it though, but I think that's.
We talk about maybe bringing the occasional guest on as well, wouldn't we? Which be quite good.
Yeah, we are indeed, and I need to get to work contacting a few people, and they'll go, "Who are you?" Anyway,
I'm a YouTuber, don't you know?
So they're back to saying KAI is still hoeing.
Blimey!
Oh, going.
There's an application there. A very keen gardener. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's what. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Right. Got you.
That must be it.
All right. I think we're probably done, aren't we? Unless anyone's got any questions. But let me just have a quick look.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin.
I was going to do some Solana analysis, but could probably save that for tomorrow.
If you want a quick look, I'm all ears actually, because I've got a little Solana trade going on at the moment.
So I'll do like a more detailed version of that. Oh, one thing, so I just spotted that the line that's an extension from a bearish retracement level. It may have been on the 1 hour. Let's have a look. No, 12-minute. It's exciting stuff, isn't it? I'll just search for this. Oh well, there's a retracement level somewhere on some level. Just check the 4 hour. Okay, so it's that. Yeah. Oh well. But yeah. So what I was going to say about that was that I do sometimes just plot out a array just kind of after a retracement level is finished, because it so often just turns into
Okay.
A relevant, like significant sort of support level or retrace or tuning jig level. But yeah, can't find the time frame now. So what we're going to look at, Sol, isn't it?
Solana.
Sol. Yeah. I did draw in some lines and stuff. Probably went a bit overboard. Oh, and also I think, yeah, I kind of at some stage, can't remember which time frame I was on, but I plotted out a trade that I think if I'd taken it would have worked out pretty well, actually, apart from that bit. So I think maybe with that, once it kind of went up into this area, I probably would have very much looked at either taking profit there or maybe, well, certainly when it poked up into here and came back down, I probably would have closed the trade at that point. But I should learn to actually take the trades rather than just planning them out in great detail and so on. So what was your entry?
My entry is 197.28.
19728. Oh, I just can't be bothered. Sorry. Delete that as well.
197.
Yeah, call it 197, which is there. Oh, was that anything to do with that wick down by any chance?
I can't remember what it was. It was
so that was Tuesday, so yesterday, 8 p.m.
Hang on.
Or sometime in that. This is on the 1 hour. So.
Was that the 14th? Yeah. 7:45 in the morning, that was.
Okay. Yeah, so yeah, the 14th.
Yeah, on the 14th, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that would have been, gosh, actually over there. Okay. So I guess, and it's a long, presumably.
Oh, hang on a minute. Does that make sense?
Well, it suggests he would have been underwater for most of Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, I might have been.
Okay.
Oh no, I might have added to the position actually. I think that's what I did.
Okay. Well, I suppose in any case, that's the level. That's your level you don't want it to come down to.
Yeah. I'm
just probably appropriate for that.
I'm looking at it now, thinking, why didn't I take profit last night?
Yeah. I mean, simply on the 1 hour, that does look like there's more down to come, I think. But we could. Not too many retracement levels really showing up on just on the 1 hour there. So we've got that played out. So we could. I find the 30-minute often works pretty well. This sort of thing. For Solana in particular, I noticed. Bit of recovery there. Yeah, liquidity there. That's suggesting a bit more downness. That's the faster moving EMA. So that's what's quick to react. So that could equally just kind of come back up.
I
Especially the
just
way that
sorry, I did just notice actually my entry then was actually 194. So I've obviously messed around with it since, haven't I?
Oh, is that so? The is that what it now is? So you reduced
No,
it?
that's what it was when I entered then.
Okay,
I've been
sure.
messing around with it since.
Sure. That's the key to good profit making, really, isn't it? Is to mess with the trade.
I don't know.
To adapt the trade as you go.
Yeah, I can't seem to leave them alone.
So if we just have a quick look higher. What I do tend to find is quite good for the taking trades is obviously planning it out a bit on the higher time frame. Then to find, it's like having planned it out, to find where it's going to be a good entry point to minimize the amount of time that I'm underwater with it. Kind of dip down to the much lower time frames, just to get the entry. Oh, we have a bullish retracement level there that's actually finished, but it kind of ties in with this level that I've drawn in anyway. So I think that could well still be a level that it's going to want to return to. Such a lot about this suggests downness at the moment, I think. I'm trying to find positive vibes for it.
No, that's all right. I'm tempted just to take profit and then look for something else.
Yeah, I wonder if is there going to be just a last bit of a leap up before it comes down.
I don't know.
3 minutes looking right. It's going up a bit. I guess it's one of those things, isn't it? If you're in profit, probably take it. That's what I would suggest.
Yeah, I think so.
And even if it heads on up anyway, then oh well, still a profit and so on. Well, you know that.
I do.
Yeah. That's what I would say there.
All right.
I mean, to be honest, this is only on 3 minutes, but that's kind of dropping down into oversold territory. Obviously, sometimes it can stay there for a while, like there, and still drop. The price can still drop a lot further, even when it's already down here. So maybe that's not so meaningful. I suggest general downness. I think. That's me done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm just wondering if like $200 is a bit of a psychological level as well, so that might be some sort of support there, maybe, or whatever.
Yeah, that is true.
Okay.
Well, probably to break up through that, it's going to. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's actually above that, isn't it? No, it's below. So you placed it at 197. Yeah,
Well, I didn't place it there. It's just ended up there because I've been messing around with it.
Oh yeah, sure. Yes, it feels like it could break down below 200 again because it seems to be toying with that level anyway. Okay. But it's just like you say, because it's that kind of psychological level. It's taking a while longer, but probably will just break down, then go up again, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I better let you get back to work and all that. Right. Thanks everyone for coming along. And please do give the stream a like. We'll be back here tomorrow at the same time, which is midday UK time, 11 a.m. UTC. So I'd love to see you there again tomorrow and also on Friday. And then I'll see what I can do at the weekend. But certainly that is the idea of every weekday at 12. Please do check out Quadzilla at savewithcrypto.org/QZ and also the Discord at savewithcrypto.org/Discord. All the links will be in the description down below. And that's it, really. So it's good night from me and
good afternoon from him.
Brilliant. All right. Take care, everyone. Oh, yeah. And above all, tell your friends. All right. Bye.